right, so we're coming off a explosive SmackDown with arguably two of the women who I honestly feel like have heated things up for the women's division on WWE. We talking about Charlotte Flair and Tiffany Stratton, and boy, were they shooting from the hip, Jay. Mayo, Splike, I'm telling you, this segment, it went off the rails, but damn, was this shit good. Fellas, how we feeling? Was it too far, or was it just about right?
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest set for one fall.
It's go time.
When it comes to going off script, because who was it that stated that it might have went off script? You showed me the tweet.
So Russell Votes on Twitter has said, and he's an insider that they do have some inside sources in WWE, and they did say after the segment aired that a script was made,
right?
But they completely went off script, and you could see that.
Okay.
You could see that immediately, Jay, when they got out, like right when Charlotte was in there, everything was fine. The first few minutes was great. Everything was great. However, when she was getting booed, that's when Charlotte started to become super flustered. And I honestly have never seen Charlotte like that in my life.
Yeah. It was a point where she told Tiffany Stratton to go.
Yeah.
That is really bizarre to do.
Very bizarre.
Extremely bizarre. Particularly for her character, because she always likes to, overtake, overpower, be on top, the queen that she is. If you remember the first promo that she and Tiffany Stratton had, she didn't let Tiffany Stratton talk at all.
No, at all.
And so, to the point where Tiffany Stratton had to go personal and use the fact that she'd been divorced 3 times against her. Me personally, I say go ahead, baby. Listen, some people may not agree with me, and that's fine if you don't agree with me. I think when it comes to professional wrestling, the entire goal is for you to get personal. It's for you to get over in the ring, right? Outside of the ring, that's a different story. Maybe, we could talk, something like that. Try to keep it, to a certain level outside of the ring. But inside the ring, bro, I'm sorry, bro. We're not here to kumbaya. We're not here to chop it up. We're not here to slap ass. We're not here to blow each other off. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to do any of that shit. We're here to put on some of the best product you've ever seen. When you go back in history, you look at the best, you look at guys like, of course, Stone Cold The Rock, Triple H, the list goes on, right? Because these guys went off the rails. That's what you need in professional wrestling, and it made it much more entertaining for the crowd, for the audience. At what risk, at what cost is it, right? That's something that I think they would have to take care of backstage, but I'm sorry, man, it was entertaining for me, so I liked it. Charlotte Flair, I think, did something she was not supposed to. When she said at the end of Tiffany Stratton, "Why is Ludwig in my DMs?" That's fucking crazy. That's crazy.
That was diabolical.
If that is true, then that just that's Lita Edge Matt Hardy 2.0 right there. And I hope that's not true. I hope that was just her trying to get under Tiffany Stratton's skin, because if that's true, that's diabolical. That is trifling, Charlotte. We can't be doing that shit now. We can't.
Oh, but we like the heat, man. I mean,
no. That's different. That's different. That's different. Look, it's not just a shoot promo. It's not just a promo. You're personal. Actually affecting someone's personal life like that.
But you say that, Jet, and you say that, Splack. However, though, when Tiffany said you're going to be alone, and what is it going to be now, 0 and 3 in regards to a divorce, the lines have been blurred a long time ago. You think that's different?
That's different.
I don't see that as different.
That's not different.
Let me tell you why.
She made it personal with that comment. So therefore, Charlotte's like, okay, well, let me take it a step further. So in a way, she opened the door for it.
No. It's more like this.
All right.
Styles. When you're talking about a situation that someone is in, I think that's part of the criticism. That's part of something that is not really tangible.
Okay.
But when you're talking about fucking with someone who's in a relationship with someone else, that's different. You're messing with a whole relationship. You're messing with people together like that. Like that's different than, oh, your situation's fucked up. That sucks. You'll get over it type shit. It'll hurt, it'll sting, but you're not really messing with anything with someone's personal life. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, it hurts my feelings. I can get over that. But you are fucking with someone's significant other in a relationship. That's why it's different. That's why it's different.
Spike, you shaking your head, you saying no.
I see what you're saying, but Tiffany opened that door. She opened that door. You gotta admit, she opened that door, allowing that to happen. So who's to blame? I think Tiff's to blame. Not saying it wasn't a good segment. I enjoyed the segment. The crowd really got into it. The crowd really did put Charlotte in that position. And by the way, if I were Charlotte, and if she ever comes across the video, you should feed off that heat and go full heel at this point. Instead of trying to pander to the crowd, trying to say I love you and bullshit. No, fuck that. You might as well feed into the heel. You might as well call audibles, like go heel right at that moment. But back to the segment at hand, the crowd really made me invest into that segment more so than the two ladies going at it. That's just me, how I felt about.
I think, and I get what I hear you, Spike. I think the crowd is really hot. I just think it's crazy to me that someone at the caliber of Charlotte Flair getting rocked, and she was visibly. If you go back and rewatch it, because I rewatched it multiple times, because it was an entertaining segment. If you go back and rewatch it, she was flustered. She was trying to restart the promo over and over and over again, and it just wouldn't come out. And we're talking about a multi-time women's champion being flustered. Now, I understand if you're coming up from NXT, if you are early in the game, but when you are at this caliber of Charlotte Flair and you are getting flustered by a hot crowd, that is saying a lot, not only to your ability.
Well, I will say, Styles, it happens even to the best of us.
I agree.
Because I have to call it out as I see it. I love The Rock, but even I gotta say, there was a time where he got flustered.
He got flustered too
by John fucking Cena.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us. When they call out something that's real, and it catches you off guard, it's up to you
on how to respond.
On how to respond. You gotta be able to. That's what makes the greats the greats.
So,
and to The Rock's defense, he did a pretty decent job, as best as you could. So no shit there.
Well, he has years of experience in dishing out promo. This is a man that went through the Attitude Era where it was barely no holds bars, where you can dish out a promo that can, and your opponent hopefully can dish it back. But this situation with Charlotte, it's like she couldn't dish it back out. I don't know what happened to her during her hiatus.
A lot has happened. A lot has happened.
Yeah,
and that's why, like, I can't. And I know I was saying, like, it's scary that she got flustered. I'm not taking it. You're right. No taking away from her, because she's still a phenomenal caliber of a wrestler on her own right. Yes. But it's incredible to see as a fan, as a watcher of the sport, because you're watching Charlotte, who we see her as phenomenal, and she's getting flustered. And a young girl like Tiffany Stratton is hungry, chomping at the bit, and was excelling in that hostile crowd.
Styles, I think it's fair to just let it. It's okay. It's fine. I think it's fine, because it's not like the entire rivalry they've had, Charlotte has looked weak.
No, she has not. I agree. She has not.
Charlotte made Tiff look bad a couple weeks ago.
Real bad.
Tiff, it was up to her to do some homework. It was up to her to figure out how she's going to respond to Charlotte Flair in the event Charlotte Flair comes at her.
Yeah.
And she rode the wave tonight. So big ups to you, Tiffany Stratton.
And she came in guns blazing, Jet. She came in guns blazing. And I think what I liked the most about this segment, honestly, was the fact that when you look at it on a grand scheme, because we're 2 weeks away from WrestleMania.
Is it 2 weeks?
2 weeks. So to me, looking at the way this is going, if I'm Tiffany Stratton, I have a huge chip on my shoulder. If I'm Charlotte Flair, I'm going back in the lab and I am practicing, and I'm going back in the lab.
Yeah, that's what she has to do.
Because
what happened on the show? She revealed a lot on, what was it, Sherry's show?
On Sherry's show, she went on the show.
So you might as well have told the whole We might as well have given Tiff that ammunition, just like delivered it to her.
And now, Splack, you bring up a good point, which is why I kind of want to discuss that point though, because she did go up into a talk show host and she aired out the situation that happened with Andrade. Now, we said it here first, right? Kind of a little bit.
Yeah,
she giving a little bit of tidbits.
She's keeping it still close to the chest.
Still close to the chest, but she told us a little bit of what happened, opening up a little bit about her life. Now, Jet has said he likes to see the shooting. He loves to see the realism, the grit, nitty gritty. If it gets to this point, right, they're both shooting from the hip. Is this okay, or are we heading into unwatered territory?
It has to be okay. This is wrestling again. This
Yes,
is what
but-
you're supposed to do.
but Jet-
bro,
but
hold
Jet-
on.
but Jet-
No. I'm tired of all this nice guy shit. Listen, bro. If I'm a professional wrestler, whatever I'm going through,
said this
I
before.
understand what business I'm in. I'm understanding that, truth be told, what gets you over more than just your wrestling does get you over, but to an extent. Guys like who are underrated or under the underdog, like a Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan at the time, right? That type of shit will get you over. But mostly in this industry, the microphone and what you say really kicks you off. Harley Cameron's a good example.
I agree.
Her
I agree.
in-ring ability is not the best, but her charisma and her mic and all that stuff, that's what gets her resonating with the crowd.
Yeah.
Toni Storm's whole transformation
Yeah.
character and how she presented herself, how she talked on the mic, that got her over.
Yeah.
You have to be able to speak. You have to be able to talk your shit. You have to be able to shoot your shot. If it's me, if I'm a professional wrestler, whatever I'm going on in my life, even if it's personal, I understand the game. I understand this is wrestling. I understand they're going to have to come at me, right? So I have to prepare myself mentally. I have to prepare myself, this guy's going to come at me. I got to assess my situation and be ready for it, right? Minus something else that I'm doing personally with someone else. If you fuck up a relationship I'm in, like a Matt Hardy Edge type shit, that's a whole different story. But again, talking shit about what I'm, going through, whatever, that's fine. I think that's fine. Me personally,
I hear what
y'all
you're
might
saying.
not see it that way, but
Jet, I hear what you're saying. However, look what happened after SmackDown. The entire ending of that segment is erased. They deleted it off of WWE. They're taking down the clips from different people.
So what you're saying, Ace, she requested Marty didn't get to talk yet.
Well, I didn't say. I didn't say. I'm not saying that they requested. I don't know that back as information yet. But what I'm saying is what I'm looking on the timeline is that clip on YouTube or on Twitter is gone. So I hear what you're saying. I'm all for that, Jet. The problem is these wrestlers are sensitive, and this is not a woman thing. It's not a guy thing. It's just wrestlers in general. They are sensitive.
Bro,
Look at
to
CM
me,
Punk.
I don't like that. Personally, I don't like that. I understand it, right? I don't like it. This is one of the things that takes me back to what the Undertaker said. Granted, some people disagreed with it, but maybe how he said it. But the point is, bro, if you're in wrestling, a physical sport where you have to talk trash, you have to talk your shit, right? Otherwise, don't fucking talk. You might as well just be just a wrestling show without people holding microphones, beefing, and all that shit. Just forget about it. Because we don't want to hurt your feelings. We don't want to hurt your feelings, right? The fuck out of here with that bullshit. I want you to come for me, bro. If one of my best friends is crutch limping or whatever, my best friends will know at the point we love wrestling. They're gonna know, bro. They're probably gonna talk shit about you. Yeah, shit. I know my friends will be like, yeah, let them. In the context of wrestling to get over, yes, absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Bro, my dad loves professional. Well, he's not here anymore. Rest in peace. My dad loved professional wrestling. I know he would be okay with that type of stuff. So I'd give my blessing. Yeah, man, talk your shit. But just know, I'm coming at you too.
So basically, if you're...
it's fair game.
Yeah, it's fair game.
That's what it has to be.
That's what it should be. That's why when it was taken down, I'm like, I don't know why. Maybe it was Charlotte that requested to take it down. But it's like, baby, you in this business. If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen.
I will say.
Don't dish it out. Yeah.
I will say.
Okay, but I'm trying to understand this whole thing. But I think Ace, you brought a good point. But I think it goes beyond that because it's not only the wrestler; it's actually the fans too. It's the fucking WWE marks who are offended for every fucking little thing. And this is why I want to call them out because here they are, bitching and bitching every time Charlotte comes back and wins the title. Oh my God, why is she winning? Oh my God, why does she have everything? Oh my God, this and that.
He's got a point there. He's got a point there.
But now you have Tiffany, who is probably the best at what she is right now, and she's the champion. But because of this little shit, I guarantee you they're gonna turn this shit around against her. Oh my God, she hurt her. She said this thing about Charlotte. She went personal. We're not gonna support Tiffany anymore. I guarantee you,
that's weak.
WWE marks are gonna turn this shit around.
Weak, bro. That's weak.
Because that's what they do. That's what they do. That's exactly. WWE fans are the most fickle fans. You have the opportunity to turn Tiffany into the fucking future, and you won't. Just the same thing you do fucking Jey Uso, main event Uso. You're doing the same thing to him, fucking CM Punk being at the main event. You have the chance to put Jey Uso up for the future. You're not putting him because you're putting CM Punk over because he deserves it at the main event. Now you have Tiffany ready to dethrone the queen. It's time. It's time. You guys have been bitching about it for the past 5 years. Every time Charlotte's come back, why did she came back? She gets everything. When she won the Royal Rumble, the first thing you heard on Twitter, bitching. Oh my God, it could have been somebody new, Stephanie Becker. Now you have somebody that can finally make you wish, and you're not gonna fucking stand behind her because you're gonna be like, oh my God, she took it too personal against Charlotte. And I think that's the most fickle shit ever, and I think that's the most stupid shit ever because not only is the wrestling offended, but now the fans are offended. Now they're gonna come for you. Now they're gonna come for me. No, that was not right. You should not. That's personal, guy. You should. She fucking said it in an interview. It's all fair games.
I will agree with Mayo. Yeah. I do agree the Fed fans are the most toxic fan bases of all of wrestling.
What?
I think I just keep calling real. If we're keeping it 100, I think Mayo's absolutely correct. If you go on Mercedes Monet's Instagram or Twitter, every one of them, we miss Sasha Banks. We want Sasha Banks back. Come back to WWE.
And none of the one of them.
Okay.
No. And none of them. None of the fucking hurt WWE fans support her in AEW. None of them buy her shit. None of them watch her on AEW.
You talking about the WWE fans?
Yeah.
They don't. They don't at all.
They just go on her live and bitch about her not being in WWE.
And bitch and complain. And I agree.
You bring up a pretty, I think, a solid point because that is a huge chunk of what I see.
Yeah.
And why is that? How did we get to this point? Like, why
tribalism.
is that?
I think the issue, and I've said this on this podcast many a times, but I think the issue that happens in wrestling nowadays since 2020 was the fact that at the time, everybody was fed up with the WWE.
That is true.
Everybody was tired of the WWE. Even in time that I feel was a pinnacle when everything changed. And that was when there was a match on either SmackDown or Raw, and I don't remember quite well, but there was a moment where Roman Reigns was tied up and they put literal dog food all over him. And that moment was the moment where they were like, we need something else. AEW came out, and boom, we became that is. And when that happened, AEW was at its peak. We were loving AEW, and in my opinion, we're still there. But once Vince left and WWE started getting better again, everybody's like, oh, well, now we're good. So now we're going back. And now we have this tribalism, right?
Yeah.
The issue is these fans are still very fickle. And they've always been fickle. And that's the problem with Charlotte Flair and this whole scenario. Now, my issue with this is, tying it back, is the fact that now that we have real heat, because here's the problem. We talked about it, right? They're talking shit that's shooting from the hip. But now, you said it. Spike said it. Mayo said it. I said it. You're right. They're shooting. But wrestlers are fucking sensitive. So now we're going to WrestleMania. And you know what happens with Charlotte Flair. We saw her with Nia Jax. Did we not?
Oh, don't remind me.
So
of that
here's
time,
the
man.
issue. If I'm shooting from the hip and I have to work with this person at WrestleMania and I want to get my shit in and I want to look good on the grandest stage, what do you think is going to happen?
Bro, listen, you're going to have to keep it professional. That's part of the business in the ring. Bro, look at CM Punk and Seth Rollins. I truly believe they don't like each other.
don't.
Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. I truly believe McIntyre doesn't like Punk. But look at how these guys worked in the ring, bro. They're like, listen, everything about you I don't like, I'm going to put it in the ring. But I'm going to keep it professional in visual appearance in the ring. So we're going to work matches. We're going to make it look and make it feel like it, it's real.
It's real heat.
But outside of this, we don't fuck with each other. And that's how it should be. If you don't like someone IRL, you don't have to mess with them. You
I
don't
agree.
have to fuck with them.
I agree.
But if you are in that ring and it's like, yo, listen, man, we got to do what's best for the greater good, because we know the fans want to see this. We got to do it for the fans, bro. Not for you, not for me, because we don't like each other, but for the fans, bro. For this company, we got to do it. And that's one of the biggest regrets that I will ever have for AEW not being able to capitalize on that shit in the past. I'm sorry. I have to say
I agree.
That would have been one of the biggest things in all of wrestling. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But that's how I feel.
I agree.
On that.
I agree. So
To end this, and I just again, I want to end this by saying this. I think it's Tiffy time. I think it's time to move on from Charlotte. I think she was great at one point, but right now it's her time. And it's Tiffy time, and let's get behind her because we
Charlotte.
need the future.
What you mean?
we do.
So you think Charlotte should just retire?
I think she'll retire. There's just not what else is there. She wins the championship. What else to do? I don't think she want to work with new people. It's clearly she doesn't.
and you brought up a great point, because I think the division is so weak right now, and it's just WWE.
Weak?
Yes, the division right now is so weak.
Which one?
The women's division.
Raw or SmackDown?
I think both. I think both are weak.
I don't know, man.
Besides, I mean,
disagree.
there's nobody there to go against. Like, unless you have, like, there's nobody there.
Io Sky.
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, but Io Sky, Io Sky was already a champion. She already been through WrestleMania and everything.
Okay, so what, bro?
There's
What?
Bayley, there's
What
Naomi.
if people have been champions so many times? Why is that a problem?
That's not a
within
problem.
itself?
I'm not saying it's a problem, but what I'm saying is the division isn't as deep as it should be. It's not as deep as it should be. We don't have a lot of characters, and like Maya was saying, there's a lot of people in that are
We
just
got,
not
Jade
strong enough.
Cargill.
Well, we just got. Wait a minute.
Don't do that. Don't do that. We got Jade Cargill. We got Bianca Belair.
Bianca should be headlining WrestleMania by herself.
Don't we have a?
She did at some point.
Don't we have an
with Mercedes.
intercontinental women's and U.S.
Who
champion?
was that?
We have, what was that name? Stephanie Green. That's her name for the U.S. champion. I always not Stephanie Green. Shoot.
Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green.
And I don't even watch the Fed. That's to show you what they just did right now is to show you that they don't even give a fuck about these undercard women.
Listen, when Stephanie Vaquer makes her way to the main roster, it's over with. It's on and popping.
I get what you're saying. I hear you. I hear what you're
there
saying.
Are a few women in
but
the
that's
NXT
why I
roster
agree
who
with
move up.
Mayo. I think that there's a changing of it. There's a changing of the guard that needs to happen, and it just needs to go down. There's just a huge.
Needs to happen with Tiffany.
It needs to happen.
It needs to happen with Tiffany, and fans has to get behind Tiffany. None of this fucking flippy floppy, wishy washy. Oh, let's go back to Charlotte because she's boiling her over now because she's going through stuff. No, fuck that. All right, she fell 3 times. So well, that's life. I have 2 divorces and 3 kids. You see me crying? No. No, you don't see me crying. And then I don't get a title shot either. I didn't win the Royal Rumble.
Damn.
Let's move on with Tiffany. All right, she's the future.
Oh, damn.
And look, Kaiser, you better check your DMs, man. Check your DMs, man. Delete what you got to delete, man. Tiffany is the way to go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in the comments below. This is Breaking Kayfabe.
Stop it.
Are you listening? Hey.